So today what's going to be happening is that we're going to be doing an analysis on gold and US30. These are the main two pairs that I trade right now. So let's get started with gold. So we're just gonna start quickly on the monthly time frame. All right, so on the monthly time frame we had this structure which is currently been kind of violated, but we need the market to close outside of the zone to confirm that gold could possibly go on to sell maybe to these levels, but we still have 10 days in this month, but we will have to wait for that. Okay, so then just to quickly come to the current price, we had this, okay, and then we had this here on the daily time frame. Okay, as you can see, now inside of this there was price developing, and what was happening is that the market had created this. Okay, this is what the market created here, and as you can see, this we had this touch, and then we recently had this touch. Okay, so to refine this pattern even more further so that you can see what exactly is happening here is this. Okay, we recently broke out of this pattern, broke it to the downside. Okay, and then when I extend this trend line, as you can see, it was recently retested again, so possibly the market could go to the downside and break here. Okay, to kind of close outside here on the monthly, as I said. Okay, so since we recently touched this trend line here, let's go to the 4 hour and see what is going on there. Okay, we recently had this gap that just got filled with this move. Okay, so now as you can see, this market has been just going to the downside. The recent trend line that we have here on the 4 hour is something like this. This is the trend line that we have. Okay, since we made this move to the downside, what I possibly see in the market in the coming few days is that we're gonna need to kind of like make a smaller pullback to come to test this. So now I'm gonna draw another trend line here on the 1 hour. As you can see, we have already broken outside of this with this candle and came to retest the point of the break, and then possibly we can see a move to this trend line here, and possibly after drop to the downside. Okay, so now how can we catch that move to go to the upside and possibly go to the downside? So meaning we have to draw our points of interest. Okay, here the candle that broke the point of the break is this one, the candle that is at the point of the break. Ideally I would like to take the trade from this, but also like the fair value gap guys, they will say something like this. Okay, the fair value gap is retested, but that's not really what I trade. Okay, so the main thing is I look at the point of the break. That is the most sensitive level there. This is the point of the break. Okay, so now let's go into the 30 minutes to try and refine this. As you can see here on the 30 minutes, you can see that the market is already efficient. Now when we look at the candle that has a fair value gap is this one. This one has an imbalance here, so this one is going to be our point of interest. So since we already broke this, you could have just placed your entry here and just do something like this, or to safely just target this here, because we have this move that happened here. This is possibly what can cause the market to possibly sell when it gets here, because as you can see, it aligns well with this trend line here. So yeah, now coming into the upcoming week, so since the market went up and came back to this zone again, on the 15 minutes you can kind of do the same thing with the trend line. Okay, we had this, and then this candle. Is it enough for a break? Kind of. This candle alone is not enough, but this one also, it can tell you that okay, you are now outside of that zone, right? Then this whole candle can be your point of interest, unless you can refine to the 5 minutes, and that is possible. So your entry, place it here. Your stop loss can be here, but for safety it has to be all the way below here. So that is the plan for gold. Okay, then once we get here, something like this, it's a pattern, right? Tap. As soon as we close outside of this, what do we have here? Some kind of a trend line, just the same thing that I did up there. And then at the point of the break, there will be a point of interest, and then you could target maybe this low right here. That is my plan for gold. And US30. US30, let me see the weekly first. Maybe there's something interesting happening there. Okay, let me try this. Okay, I'm just gonna stick to these two structures here. A more recent price. Okay, so that was on the weekly time frame. Okay, as you can see, the market came, respected this, came here, made a low, and went to the upside. So now what I can already see is that this is a sensitive level here. This is a sensitive level. If we break below here, we could see some shorts. Already I can see this candle maybe, but I'm just gonna focus on the recent price for now. Okay, let me just do this on the daily time frame so that we can see properly. This is what we have, and then we had this structure. The market came to retest this, went to the upside. Okay, now this is what the market is respecting there at the top. Okay, nothing much happening on the daily time frame for now. I'm gonna drop into lower time frames. So now what I can see is that we had this here, which I can now refine to this, and as you can see, it has been broken to the downside, and it's a sell pattern. Break to the downside at the point of the break, retest. The retest has already been done. So the retest, the point of the break, as you can see, the market came to it, went to the downside. Okay, we could possibly come to these areas here. Okay, then okay, not much happening on the 4-hour time frame. This is not a low yet. The lows are this one and this one. Okay, did we break out of the low? No. What I can do is I can adjust this to this right here, and then since that was respected on the 4-hour, but if we break here, then I can say now this has been respected. But it can still be broken. Let's see what the 1 hour is telling us. Okay, the 1 hour, we had this trend line which was broken to the upside. The market came down, possible move to the upside, but this is the zone that's keeping the market from going to the upside. But because the 1 hour has already committed to the, what can I say, a pullback mode. Yeah, that's what I can say. Now we are waiting for the 4 hour to kind of oblige, but this is the level that I can see the market could possibly come to make that retest, pullback retest, whatever you can call it. And also you have this on the charts. You have this on the charts, and already on US30, as you can see now, it's telling a different story. Remember that trend line we drew on the 4 hour, something like this. All right, so this pattern here is telling a different story. We could potentially see the market going to the downside here. This candle, this structure, it is a bearish structure, so at the point of the break here, we could see the market selling from the point of the break and possibly to these zones here. But there are ways to refine this. You can go all the way to the lower time frames and see what the structure is telling you, or if you can take it from this candle. Okay,